In this presentation, we're featuring Lynda Solien, who will be discussing growing your bottom line with retail products. Learn how to grow your bottom line by retailing products in your massage practice. Lynda will share the pros and cons on retailing and how to make retailing products add to your bottom line. You'll learn proven methods and guidelines to do this. Choosing the right products for your massage market not only increases your bottom line, but will also help with client compliance and retention. I'd like to introduce our presenter, Lynda Solien, who is a licensed massage therapist and is the president and founder of Wolfe Resources Group, Inc., a business development consultant organization specializing in the massage, spa, and integrated healthcare markets. Lynda has traveled the world for the past decade to spread her message and her passion of the benefits of massage therapy. Her travels take her to Asia, Europe, Australia, Canada, the Caribbean, and all over the United States. She co-founded Massage Therapy Associates of Brevin, MTAB, in Merritt Island, Florida in 1994, and has expanded to offer a wide variety of massage and spa therapies and retail products. Lynda is currently serving as the vice chair of the Florida Board of Massage Therapy and is a member of the American Massage Therapy Association and the Florida State Massage Therapy Association. She has received numerous awards in the massage profession. Lynda, welcome to the World Massage Conference. It's so fabulous to have you presenting today.
Thank you, Melanie. I'm glad to be a part of the conference. And today we're going to be talking about grow your bottom line with retailing products in your massage practice. I'm really excited. Thanks for having me talk on the topic. The presentation will be addressing retailing products and how it can help you grow your bottom line as a massage therapist. We'll be looking at retailing, what it is, the pros and cons. The 3C method is something we'll be reviewing, which is consultation, convenience, compliance. We'll review a few guidelines for successful retailing, how to choose the right products, method for merchandising, a little bit of record-keeping tips, and really just some simple ways that you can increase your revenue with recommending what you believe in. It's kind of what I call driving the bus, believe, use, and sample. I have been selling products in my practice for the past 15 years. I find it to be a great resource of income, I think, because I've been selling the products for so many years. I think that's how I started talking to other massage therapists, how they can do it too. My clients really appreciate the benefits from, the products I sell. It's really become a good marriage. We'll address a little bit too. I know there's some debate about whether massage therapists should sell products. I feel this is just something that I like to address in the beginning, is that we just have the need to practice ethical business practices no matter what we're doing, if it's selling a service or selling a product. So with that said, I think the right products can help us grow our bottom line. So let's go on to the next slide. And this is going to be, what is retailing and how retailing products can increase our bottom line. Retailing products, it's very simply put, is just the selling of products or goods. There are two ways that we can increase revenue in your massage therapy practice or wellness center or spa. The one is we can either increase the number of clients we serve, and the other way is to increase the amount you sell to the same number of clients. And that's where retailing is going to come in. And the service and healthcare model, you have some true profits there versus, if you're retailing in a store where, they have a lot more overhead. To give you just a little example of just the spa industry, I'd say I read from the iSpa survey from last year. I think it was 93% of all spas are retailing in some form. That could be from a single shelf to a full storefront. Also a lot of healthcare providers, DCs, podiatrists, they're all selling products in their office these days. And you can only do so many treatments in a day. That's where selling products really come in for that additional, revenue generator. Most spas today, they kind of depend to keep their doors open, or the bigger wellness centers. After expenses, if you've ever broken that down for treatments, there's not that much profit left from a service. That's why really the right retail program has really made a difference. I know it's made a difference in my business, and we're in Florida here in Brevard, and we have 6 treatment rooms. And like I said, from the very beginning, we have sold some form of retail. We started maybe with just a couple of products, and now we have a full line that really tailors to. We see a lot of people for pain relief and a lot of people for relaxation. Next slide. So a little bit of this is the pros and cons of retailing in the massage therapy practice. And probably my favorite tips for the pros were, we're going to add value to the treatment. We're going to extend the treatment and benefits at home, and we're going to increase the bottom line. And I think that was even, part of the title is to increase the profits. A little bit on the cons there would be, my favorite con is paperwork. I'm just not a fan of paperwork, but you've got to find a system somewhere to keep track of your records. So again, the paperwork and the sales tax, probably stocking the inventory to some people, having the space or having to put the money up front. And probably, I just got back from the iSpa conference this week, and I attended one of the retailing classes, and getting your staff on board to sell. So again, if you do have a staff, that's probably not their favorite thing to do. So if they realize that it's going to, benefit the clients, I think that has really helped out. So again, that would just give you, a little idea of the pros and cons. Next slide.
Okay.
This is the three partners in a retail partnership. I actually like to think of this as a three-legged bar stool. So with that in mind, you're going to have your staff, which includes yourself. So if you're a smaller, massage center, just a massage practitioner, you're the staff. You're going to have the staff. You're going to have vendors, and you're going to have the clients. And again, the staff is very important because you know that you need to be recommending those products. Next, your vendor is very important because you need a relationship with them. You want to find the best products. It's not all about cost. A lot of times you look for who sells the cheapest products, but who's going to give you good customer service in that relationship. And then, the third leg of that stool is going to be the clients, because we know if we don't have the clients, we're not in business. So I think that's pretty important. So on to the next slide, which will take us to serve your clients, which is part of, once again, if you think of that three-legged stool, one of those stools is going to be your client. So I think it's really important to make sure that we know why we're selling the products and why we're there, that we're doing this to make sure we pick the products that are best for our clientele. I put this very first thing on here, caring for our clients with the healing power of touch, is the essence of massage therapy, because I want to make sure that, we're talking to the massage market, the massage population, that, again, we're not replacing our touch. We're trying to enhance that treatment by selling products, in our massage center. So by never losing, sight of that, we're about massage therapy and, about the healing powers of touch. Again, the professionalism and strong knowledge base. We gain those clients' trust when we know what we're talking about and we're recommending the right things to them. Again, it empowers our clients to take charge of their own health. My big thing still is the best massage therapy client is a healthy client, and that's my goal, is to recommend products and give the best service to get them feeling good and have a wellness program, even if they're in there for if it's just for aches and pains or if it's for any injuries and things like that. So again, to recap, selling the products and the treatment, it's a professional responsibility, and it adds value to the client's overall experience. So I think we just have to keep that in mind when we're choosing, which products to sell. The first thing was to sell products, and then kind of which ones. So the next slide, which would be educate your clients.
Okay.
So now we're going to use our skill and our knowledge and compassion to treat not only the conditions. So again, from the last slide where I was talking about that, we're not losing touch about, our massage therapy and our treatments, but we want to keep in mind that, here I have 1% of the time is when we're going to see the client. They're at home 99%. But, I see my clients probably anywhere from once a week to once a month is regular for them. So I've got that time in between to be recommending a home care program. And that's where my retail program comes in, is what do I want to recommend for them for home care. So, we want to give them the best skill, but we also want to take care of them in between visits. And I really think that the massage therapists were in a very unique position to recommend products that really work. And we're the ones that really know that. The next slide. This is going to be selling benefits to the clients. This is the 3C method. I actually see this a lot more of a healthcare model that I see with chiropractors and podiatrists and a lot of healthcare professionals. So again, that our selling method is going to be using the 3Cs, and the 3Cs are consultation, convenience, and compliance. Once again, I think of this as another three-legged stool. So now we're at the the old massage therapy bar. So again, this would be, think of the three legs there. So on to the next slide. And this would be consultation. So the first leg of our another three-legged bar stool is going to be the consultation. So when your selections of products closely relate to your treatments, the recommendation becomes easier. So part of this will even sound like a broken record because it's really about recommending, not any hard sell tactics. So we want to, recommend and do a consultation of what our client really needs. Give your clients the power to learn more about maintaining their health and making better decisions. You're ultimately providing a solution to your clients. When you provide the right products to your clients, their satisfaction and value, of your advice grows. Probably two types of clients that I see would be one for pain relief. So when I see somebody who is coming in for, pain management, I sell an awful lot of biofreeze and topical analgesics. So that's part of my program in between the time I see them. I see a lot of patients now that come in or clients that come in for stress reduction and relaxation massage. We sell an awful lot of lavender in our business or other essential oils, just to help with relaxation. We sell a lot of bath salts, music. So again, that will actually be part of the products that we sell for that type of client. The next slide. So the second leg of our bar stool here would be convenience. And that makes it, again, they have immediate satisfaction of knowing they can obtain these products. I buy retail everywhere, and I like things, again, if I go on a cruise, I want to buy those products wherever I'm at. So again, one form is having that convenience and having them right there. So even one of the products that we sell that you could get out of store, you really try to recommend products that you can't buy anywhere else, would be the convenience of being able to pick up bath salts or Epsom salts, right at our place. So you come out of the massage, and I just want you to go right home and take a bath. So that would be an example of a product that, you would get that convenience. We know that everyone is buying products, so why not buy them from you? Again, and that they're hands-on professional and they're recommended by a professional. So the next slide. And so the last leg of this bar stool is going to be compliance, so with the 3 Cs. So you know what treatments work for your clients and what they can do to maintain better health. So many services are not completely effective unless you can extend or enhance the benefits. I know if I'm going in for a massage for stress reduction or relaxation, going home and listening to relaxing music or using essential oils can be very beneficial to be, more compliant for my treatment plan. So home care products can help make your clientele treatment more effective. My goals are to keep my clients out of pain and relax in between treatments. The next slide. So this slide would be guidelines for successful retailing. I have 6 guidelines here. I put a little page of a few notes together, and it covers these guidelines. So the very first one would be always choose products that you trust and believe in. You'll be hearing this a few times from me in this presentation. Do some research. Make sure that you trust these products before you ever sell anything like that to any of those products to your clients. The next one would be educate yourself on the products you sell. This would be for you and your staff. This education could be, if you guys just have to get the products that you decide to sell and try them on each other, you're using them at home. Some manufacturers actually have client training, but whatever it is, you want to make sure that you fully understand what's going to happen with that product. If it is a pain reliever and you'll be able to tell them that this product is going to get cool or this product's going to get warm, you want to make sure that you've actually used that and your staff's aware of it. And if you guys happen to have, receptionists or even attendants and stuff like that, if they're doing any part of the retail selling at your practice, you just want to make sure that they're aware of all the products. I actually give the products to everybody that works at our place so that they all can actually use them, because it makes them believe in them more. The next slide, and this will be continuing more guidelines for successful retailing. Choose products that are not easily accessible to your clients. Again, we don't want to compete with the Walmarts and the Walgreens. I already touched on sometimes there's going to be products that you can get at these other stores like salts and stuff like that, but you really want to look for professional products. I mean, something that's very popular, I touched on BioFreeze, and I use Bombatal Foot Balm. I have just different products that I personally believe in and have really helped me, so it makes it a really easy recommendation and sell. Choose products that you use in your practice. So again, this becomes a direct extension of your work. We've touched on massage oils and lotions, aromatherapy products, the music that you hear when you are getting relaxed when you get a massage. Everybody wants to take that home, so that's always the music that we play are the products that we sell, because it's like, oh, what was that I heard? Oh, I'd like to purchase that. So again, ice packs, analgesic pain relievers. Obviously that's very popular for us. The next slide. And continuation of guidelines for successful retailing. A big question here would be, how much do you charge for the products? A lot of that depends on what you're paying for the products. The products you purchase for resale are sold to you at professional prices, and they're meant to be marked up for resale. Your distributor and manufacturer should be able to guide you with, proper selling prices. Usually we see, depending on what you get the products for, but usually you're doubling that cost or 100% markup. That's known as a keystone. So the keystone would be doubling the price. So if we purchased a tube of BioFreeze for $6, we'd be selling that for $12. And again, that's that's a recommended amount. It really depends on what wholesale pricing you achieve. Obviously, if you got that tube of BioFreeze for $12, you're not going to be doubling that. They're probably going to find a better price somewhere else. Purchase your products from a distributor and manufacturer, that works with you. Important issues to me are customer service issues. What is their return policy? Do they have a price guarantee? How quickly do they ship? Do they charge me shipping? The other thing that I actually look for too, and this might come from the manufacturers, what marketing support do they give? A lot of products out there will provide you with samples from the manufacturer or the distributor, posters, a POP display, which is a point of purchase display. The next slide. This is really just a recap of some of the things that we talked about. It's just to make sure that you're choosing the right products, and it will really make a difference in making your retail program a success. So most massage and spa experience the greatest amount of success when the products are, in synergy with their spa or massage practice philosophy. So again, I talked a little bit about having products for pain relief and relaxation and the music. So I really try to sell products that are just an extension of my practice. Treatment room meets retail. What I really mean here is I want you to look for products that have treatment in retail sizes. So you want them to have back bar or professional sizes so you can use that in your treatment room. And then you would also be able to then have retail sizes so that you can then sell that to your clients. We've already touched a little bit. You want to choose products that are not sold in retail stores and products that are a direct extension of your treatment. So that will give you, this is really just a recap from the guidelines. And the next page, or the next slide. And that would be the methods for merchandising your products. You want to make the product visible and attractive. It doesn't matter if, you're just working on the counter where they check out, or you actually have a shelf, or you might have a whole area that you can dedicate to more products. You want to make sure that, they can feel the product and smell the product. Some companies, offer nice point of purchase or point of sale displays, samples or countertop. You really want to get that product, make it visible. A lot of people say, a lot of people say that, you want all your product to be eye level, that more people look at that. If you've been in a supermarket or a drugstore, those popular products are eye level. Shelf toppers are really nice. I was recently at an Aveda store, and I was reading all the little shelf talkers, and it made me buy products that I probably wouldn't have even bought before. My personal opinion is there really is no bad way to merchandise your product as long as you're, being creative with merchandising and you're getting it out there. The one wrong way would probably be, you're doing nothing. I do have a massage therapist friend, and she says she's in the business of selling products. She keeps everything behind the counter where you can't see it. So if you ask, hey, do you sell this product, then she goes, oh, yes. And so she doesn't have it displayed at all. And I really do believe, firsthand that that's affecting her sales. So that would be the one advice I would give you is make sure you're making it, making your product visible. Use the products you sell. Make sure you have a tester available. The other thing is to hand out samples. I think sampling is very important. Everybody loves free samples. It's a great introduction. Many companies out there, look for the companies that are going to provide you with samples. I know BioFreeze supply samples, Bon Vital supply samples. Many companies out there do that because they know that it gives you, something to give to your client to give it a try. So you've tried it in your treatment, you send them home with a sample, so they're more apt to buy when they come back. And the other thing is to have, products. You want to have prices on them. It doesn't matter if you have to handwrite that price on there or you're using a pre-printed label or a computer program. I actually do a menu of the products with the prices, and it has the name of our company and everything on there. So you can actually leave and know what products we carry and what our pricing is for that. So the next slide. This is just an example of a point-of-sale display. Could also be called a POP, point-of-purchase signage. And again, this is having about 12 of the product being able to be right on your, if you wanted to have it at your checkout, you can have it right at the checkout, or you can actually have it at a shelf. And the other product here is just having, having brochures and having a little holder and just making it neat, to be able to display it. Okay, the next slide. This is keeping track of your sales and your inventory. Again, this was one of Lynda's cons, was keeping track of the paperwork. So you need to really find a system that's going to work for you. Thank goodness I have a bookkeeper and a CPA, but the downfall to that is I have to have everybody on my team keeping records to make sure that I can get that information into my bookkeeping team. Most of the computer programs nowadays and the software they're making for spas and massage therapy businesses, they're tracking inventory, they're tracking sales and commission. I personally use QuickBooks, and we use the another software program. And then the other thing is you need to know that your taxes. You need to know your state, local, and federal tax. Big thing on sales tax. I know a lot of massage therapists that don't even want to retail products because they have to do the sales tax. I'm in the state of Florida, and they had it to where we had smaller sales in some of these big stores, so we were allowed to keep our records and turn in our sales tax on a quarterly basis. My CPA actually brought it up, and I petitioned the state. I just wrote them a letter, and they now allow me to do that on a yearly basis. So it makes it more convenient, for me. So again, you just want to make sure you're record keeping and you're doing your taxes, but it shouldn't keep you away from selling products and then having the service for your clients. So again, the next slide. So this will be our last slide of the presentation, and this is something that I actually say to a lot of people is don't miss the bus. And I really believe that recommending and selling products in the massage therapy practice is as simple as this. It's, the bus. It's believe in the products you sell, use the products you sell, and sample the products you sell. And I really think that you're going to have a successful extension of your bottom line if you follow those simple steps. Thank you.
Excellent. That is a lot of information packed in there. I know that we have a lot of questions queued up, but I just kind of want to reaffirm with you that what it sounds like is you, again, really need to educate yourself about the products, and then really need to educate your clients about the best opportunity and the best benefit for them to use the products that you decide to provide for them, or at least have available for them.
Absolutely, I agree with that, Melanie.
Yeah, and it's funny because you talked about music, and that's one thing, too, that I think a lot of us as practitioners have had that experience, and certainly I've had it in my practice for years, is where did you get that music? And so to have that opportunity to offer to sell your clients the music because they definitely want it, and like you said, send them home with products where they can almost re-experience the feeling and the energy that they've had in that massage, whether it's relaxation, or for those pain relief products to send them home with that so that they are able to take care of themselves between the visits to see us.
Right, and I believe it's just a simple formula that if you educate yourself and educate your clients, it'll be just a natural sell.
Yeah, you mentioned something, Lynda. I just want to see if we can get you to clarify it. Something about a shelf talker in an Aveda store? What is that?
Again, shelf talkers just tell you what the product is. So if it's a pain reliever, I just happened to be in a Aveda store, and they just had all their products had a description on the shelf.
Oh.
So again, that's just a form of merchandising, is to have shelf talkers.
Okay.
So I don't have to hold that product up and say, hey, what is this? What does this do? It already talks to you.
Okay, great. Well, I know that we have lots of questions coming up, so we're going to turn this over to Marla, who's going to field the questions for you from our audience.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Hi, Lynda. It's Marla. The first question is from Carol Holland Wagner, and she wants some suggestions for a single massage therapist. She has a hard time with moving enough products for the wholesale size order, and she hasn't found anyone to split them with. Do you have any suggestions for her?
She wants to actually split the products?
Yeah.
I think, though, a lot of the what I want to say, not the distributors now will actually let you buy a smaller amount. And I really think you want to look for the products that are, I have a lot of experience, obviously, with BioFree, so I know that you can buy those, you can get less than 12, but if you don't have to buy a whole case or a gross, that you can buy 12 at a time. Would probably be my recommendation to her. But I would definitely talk, again, that has a lot to do with having that relationship with my distributor. So I'd be talking to my distributor because to say, hey, I need the best pricing here, and this is what I want to buy at the time. And sometimes if you don't buy a large amount, you might pay a little bit more, but it's still going to be a price where you can make a markup.
Okay. The next question we have is from Lizanne Franco of New York City. I have a home massage therapy practice. How would you recommend displaying products for therapists that have limited space?
I have a friend up in New Hampshire that has a home business, and I was recently there in August, and I noticed when I came out that in her checkout area where she has the client check out and pay, she actually had, I think she sold about 3 products. So she had her products displayed where her client would come in and write their check, so they'd actually see the pricing, and it was actually right on like the dining room table. So, and that's when she had business hours, that's how she displayed her products. So again, wherever you're going to do your checkout, even if it's a home business, you can have your, bring your products out, when you're doing business.
Okay. And Cindy Filler from Victoria, BC. Is there a maximum number of products a massage clinic should sell? What is your ideal product line? What are the best products?
Hi, Cindy. Thanks for the question. That's a great question. It's really going to depend on your square footage. If you're a one treatment room and, you don't have a reception area, I wouldn't recommend more than 3 or 4 products. We probably sell about 12 top products, and, we have a waiting room and a reception area. So I think that gives you a little bit more room. As far as the best products, again, I think in my presentation I talked about it. It really depends what type of practice you have. We see a lot of people for pain management, so BioFreeze has been a huge revenue generator for us. We treat a lot of foot conditions, so we use Bombatal foot balm, so that's been real popular for us. We sell a lot of Epsom salts because, again, we want to recommend, and we're competing with, again, you can buy your Epsom salts down the road at a Walmart or a Walgreens. So, so we sell a lot of that. So, again, I don't know if you use aromatherapy in your practice. That could be, be a nice product for you. So again, though, but back to your question, though, how many products? I think it really depends on. You don't want anything to be too cluttered, and you still, you want to have that formula, believing in the products and knowing about them. So it really just depends on the size of your practice.
Okay. There's another question that's sort of related to the last one. This is from Mary Rachel Clark Schwarzach from Germany, and the question is: do you recommend a specific product line?
Well, again, if it's for massage, I would probably be recommending. Again, I use a lot of BioFreeze. I use a lot of Bombatal, foot balm, because I'm using those products in my treatments too. I actually have treatments that support both of those products.
Thank you. And Maria from the UK, from London in the UK. Hi, Lynda. Thanks for your presentation. What do you think of creating a personalized or signature product, meaning, for example, Epsom salts in your own private packaging?
And I'm guessing, too, she might be just talking, well, she's going to create those herself or even private label. We didn't really have a lot of time to talk about private label. Private label can be another arm in there that it could even be, you could have a four-legged bar stool in there. And remember, though, the thing about sometimes you want to pick products that really already have a brand. Epsom salts, I couldn't even tell you a name. I probably would buy the store-bought brand, so there would be nothing wrong with that at all. And then one thing about private label to keep in mind is that there's usually more of a markup in private label products. So if you're using your own label or you're actually going to a company for that, I know a few people who do very well, and they tend to do both. They tend to have a branded line and a private label line, the people that I'm aware of that do that.
Okay. The next question is from Meryl of Newton, Massachusetts. She says she doesn't like the paperwork, and how do you organize it and get yourself to keep up with paperwork? The tax is part of it.
You hire a really good team. And I can actually tell you that because it's the one thing I absolutely hate is the paperwork. And you again, if you have to have it on paper first, so then you can have somebody put it into your computer system. That's what I personally do. I have a bookkeeper and a CPA, and I actually have my CPA. He's in charge of getting the report. So you still have to do some paperwork. I can't sit here and say there'll be no paperwork, but you put somebody in charge of it to be on your team. And I think, though, if you are doing your own accounting, then you just have to put a system together, and it can be as simple as having it, in a book and a piece of paper. These are the products that I sell, and then, keeping track of them. And you really want to keep track of that too, because there's other reasons. I use that data at the end of the year when I'm deciding what I want to keep and what I want to keep selling. Am I selling, enough of that product to keep it up? And so I think your paperwork, becomes very valuable to you too. So if you keep that in mind, that it's going to help you, with, your revenue too, that maybe you won't think of it as that bad of a chore.
It sounds like you need to become friends with your paperwork.
Oh, there you go. But it really is, when I was putting the presentation together, I absolutely despise paperwork. So I can really, really relate to her. Mm-hmm. And I have made it very profitable to sell products too, though. So I think there is a compromise in there.
Okay. Thank you. There's Kim from Sharpton, Opalika, and she asked, do you recommend more spa-related products or the therapeutic-type products?
Well, it really depends what you're doing in your office. I actually have a lot of spa products, too, on the way of, everybody is going to get a moisturizer somewhere, so I sell a lot of moisturizers. If you are doing some form of spa treatments, you can actually have more of the spa line. I think a lot of people are recommending exfoliations, even if it's in between your massage treatments. So there's a lot of basic scrubs and salt scrubs out there that are real popular that we sell.
There was a question about distributors. You talked about products and what products you'd recommend, but this question is about what distributors would you recommend?
I'd probably, if we're in the massage market, I would recommend Massage Therapy Warehouse script companies. They're just really friendly people. They've written a lot of articles in the industry too that I've seen from Angie Patrick and Steve Keller and Heather Zadan, that their customer service. We know they stand behind their pricing and their products, and that's what you want to look for. And and to give you some merchandising idea stuff too, I think they actually sell some basic shelves and stuff, or they'll have some packages of here's our top product lines and stuff like that. And I believe they're one of your sponsors for your conference.
Yes, they are. Could you tell us a little bit more about what is ISPA?
Help me. No.
iSpa.
iSpa.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
It's pretty bad when I don't know the answer. It is the International Spa Association, and they actually have a conference. They just had their conference in Vegas last year, and you can actually go to their website, which is www.experienceispa.com. So that'd be EXPERIENCEISPA.com. And they actually wrote a book on retailing their the iSpa Foundation. And I put that in the resource at the end there too. It's they're known as the association in the spa industry. And their foundation has actually put together, they just came out with a book called Spa, A Comprehensive Introduction. And, last year they came out with their retailing book. So I would recommend, too, if you're interested. And, I haven't found somebody that has a detailed enough retailing book that's just about massage. And I notice, there's a lot of crossover with spa and wellness. So they probably have one of the best detailed retailing books I've seen in a long time. So it's the art and science of retailing.
Oh, great. So this would be great, a good resource for this next question, which is, Ashley, I'm going to add a retail section in my massage business. What are some inexpensive items that would be great for retail?
Hi, Ashley. Great question. Again, I think some of the pain relieving products. I would look for. I'd go to Massage Warehouse and look for some essential oils, some bath products, some basic, salts and salt scrubs. And I think that they're inexpensive enough to be able to have a small inventory on hand.
And what would your favorite products be? What sells the best for you? This is from Sherry.
Well, my talk here is being sponsored by BioFreeze, but I have to tell you, before I've ever done any work with BioFreeze was the first product I really started selling, because I saw a lot of people in pain, and we do a lot of pain management. So I think because my practice is related a lot to pain management, BioFreeze was really the first product, and it gave me to be able to add more products in there. So I would have to say BioFreeze was my number one product. And then, like I said, we had started working on where we have a specialty treatment, and we see a lot of people with different foot conditions. And I recommend that people get, give themselves a foot massage every day. So I have a Balm Vital Foot Balm is probably my second product. And I still recommend, some people don't move as much massage oil, but we sell a lot of that too. Is I think just having massage oil on hand. You see a lot more,
Yeah, the more variety you have.
Right, you see, getting that variety, and you see more people now that wanting to have that massage or spa experience at home. So I would say, after that, lotions and salt scrubs are other popular products.
Okay, and in your clinic, where is the best place to display your products? This is from Paul.
I really feel that you want things at eye level. I have a full bookshelf of all our products, but I actually have a shelf right in our waiting room. So, in the other area you can browse all the products, but I still highlight those on a shelf that, it's just above eye level. And then we actually just have a small display of our top products, and I do rotate those probably monthly, but just a small point of purchase display right at the checkout. And if any of you guys just even go shopping on a regular basis and you see extra things at the checkout, you're tempted to purchase them. Or at least look at them.
Okay. Do you find, this is from Nancy, do you find that selling products necessitates having a receptionist or front desk employee?
Hi, Nancy. I think, though, that I could probably sell more products if I had that front desk person. We only have somebody on a part-time basis. But we've managed that each therapist really works their own, they check their client out and then they recommend those products. So I really think, though, that it can be done by having your therapist do the sale of the product.
Okay. And then there's a question from Diane about larger items like equipment, for example, saunas or exercise equipment. Are these appropriate things to be selling in your clinic?
Well, I'll tell you that the first 10 years that I was in business, I was actually affiliated with a table company. And just because I had that affiliation, I did public relations for Golden Mission Woodworks. I actually sold a lot of tables and chairs in the area just because I had them on stock. I had them in the office in stock. So, it really depends. You are seeing, I don't know about saunas, but I can tell you're seeing more people who would like to have a massage table at home. I actually know a lot of more massage therapists that are doing house calls, and some people have a higher clientele that they sell that's part of their package, believe it or not, that they sell the massage table at the house so they don't have to carry one. So a lot of clients are purchasing them. So by then having that relationship, if you purchase it, there's a profit in there for you.
That's a very good link. It's a very good way of linking your product to your service.
I actually had an affiliation with a builder, and he actually started creating a massage room. It was in one of his floor plans. So again, I recommended, and I got right in there with the local builder and started putting the massage table in the new houses.
So it sounds like looking for opportunities where you never thought they would be, and just being creative.
And being very creative.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to make it convenient again to our client, because without our client, we wouldn't be having any profit at all.
Mm-hmm. There is a question from Lynda, and it's going back to lines of products, smaller lines of products, and she's asking, what is a good quantity of product to start with when you first begin a line in a small practice?
Well, I actually like to buy 12 at a time, because I'll put, they actually say you should put anywhere from 3 to 6 product deep. So if you're going to have those on the shelf and you're just going to have a small shelf, that you maybe are going to have 3 products at a time. So if you start out and you get 12 at a time, and a lot of the distributors that I'm seeing is you can buy 6 or 12 at a time and get the quantity discount.
Great. There's quite a few questions coming in, and we're sorting through them because there are a lot of them
I hope I'm
repetitive.
answering them okay.
You are. Your answers are very. I think they're going to be very well received. There is one from Shelley. Shelley asked, "What about the liabilities for carrying retail? I don't want to do it, but I worry if someone has a reaction. if something goes wrong, will the insurance for massage cover the retail side too?
It is my understanding that anything you do in your practice, that your liability insurance will cover that. Once again, these are my personal opinions. You always want to check. I don't know who your insurance with. I don't even know what country or state you're in asking the question, or other people listening. So I would always check with my policy. But it's my understanding that the liability policy that I have, if they had a reaction, because again, it's not just selling the product. You got to remember, I'm using this in my treatment. So just about every product that I have there, I'm using in my treatment. So if they came out with an allergic reaction, I need to make sure that I'm covered in some way. And that's the other part of making sure that you have education on there. Because we didn't really even touch on skincare and things like that, and different peels and stuff, because you want to make sure you know what you're putting on your clients. And the best way I can test that is to use that on myself and my staff. We got something new, I send it home, try this, let me know what you think about it. If it's a new warming gel, how long did it take? If it's an analgesic, so I would recommend that education, but I would check with my my provider. But my guess is that, especially if you're in the States and you have a basic liability policy, it's going to cover you because you're using that in treatment and then selling the product.
Okay. Now we're going back to products that are not creams. They're self-massagers or things that help with trigger points, like handheld stones. Sherry asked, do you agree with selling these types of things in your practice?
I do agree with those, and I believe that they're an extension of our work. I mean, I have diabetic neuropathy, and I use a foot thumper on my feet. I used to actually sell a lot of those. When you walk in, I have 2 foot thumpers that you actually use. And I use it to help me. I get a massage, just so everybody knows, at least 2 times a week. But, I mean, I will use the home products. I have a massage chair. I used to actually, we know the Brookstones and stuff sell those. And I can't think of the company right offhand, but that one company, I believe that they actually will sell those massage chairs, and they give discounts to healthcare providers. So you would get that cheaper than what that client would buy that at Brookstone. But I really feel that I used to get the question a lot going, if you recommend all these products, what about us? Do you think they'll still come in for a massage? And it's a lot of my talk that I talked about. It's in between your treatments. I don't think there'll ever be a replacement for the human touch. But I think in between at home, I can't come home with you. So it's something that can come home with you. And I have a lot of cold stones in my freezer, by the way.
It's good to have them on hand, just in case. Okay. Next one is from Elizabeth. If you don't have the time or the know-how to create your own retail line, do you recommend a way to find someone to create it for you?
I think you have a lot of experienced therapists out there, and even consultants that would help you create a line. I do know, I'm more familiar with working consultants with opening up the spa end and the wellness end. But definitely, and I really think too, I would bring you back, if it's a smaller place, is look for your distributor. They're looking at educating their sales team, so they've had a lot of experience working with massage therapists. So that would be the first place I would go, is to talk to my distributor and ask them, what ideas that they have and what's their number one selling products, and what are they recommending. And then if you don't get the answers you want, I really think that you would have some resources. And, I actually look for, the mentors is who has is selling even, has a successful massage business. Because, again, massage might be different from a larger wellness clinic or a spa. So, again, you look for the type of business that you have.
So you'd spoken about selling products that you use in your practice. What about selling products that you don't use in your practice?
Well, I think you can. I think you can use them. I just really feel that in our market, that it's going to be more. Again, I talked about have a synergistic, relationship with those products.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be certain things that we have on our shelf that's a retail product that we wouldn't necessarily use in our back bar. Maybe even some of the lotions that we use. But I might actually use that myself, not use it in the practice, but it might be a product that I believe in.
Absolutely.
I still really recommend to have the closest tie-in you can, for that synergy of your products.
Do you agree with giving out samples of products?
Absolutely. I think sampling is the key to the success of your program. I actually spoke in New York City on retailing, and it was the secrets of retailing, and there was like, what is your secret? And I was laughing because I think it's sampling. It's recommending the product, believing in the product, and sampling. So, and I would very much look for, too, is what products. It's not just about the best price that you can get. Are these distributors or manufacturers of the products? Because remember, the distributor is going to be working with manufacturers to sell these products. Do they give out samples? Are they charging you for samples? And I would really be looking for the companies that are very generous with their samples, because I really think that that's going to be the key to your clients knowing about the product.
And do many large distributors give out samples of their products? Like, would that be a great way to start a line, to test a line in your practice?
I know I just got, like I said, I just got back from the iSpa show, and I mean, I literally got charged an extra $50 because I brought home another 20 pounds of product. I mean, they were so generous with their samples because they want me to try those products. And I can tell you, again, since I spoke on just my personal opinion, my two favorite products are, the Foot Balm and the BioFreeze. Both of those companies are very generous with sampling. I mean, BioFreeze will even go to the extent, and I know others have followed this model, but they'll go to the extent that they're the manufacturer. They will give you the products. They'll even print your name and phone number on the brochure with the product at no cost. So if you call them direct, no matter where they don't sell direct, so no matter where you're buying your products from, they're going to give you now, it's almost like a card. If you're going to a health fair, or so when they walk out the door with your sample, they're going to get your name and your phone number on there. And that has really been a nice business builder. I'll go do the fairs, the stuff in the mall, once a year, twice a year, and I always have, hundreds of those samples on hand. So you're not just walking out with a sample and you go, where did I get this from? Or having to take the time to put a little sticker on there, because nothing goes out my door without knowing, where to reorder, because that's really important too. I have this. How do I get more? And, because that's part of the, retail process is, once I buy something, we want you to, we want it to be a consumable and you buy more.
That's a really great suggestion. And so we're going to thank you very much. And now over to you, Melanie.
Thanks, Marla. Boy, we sure kept Lynda busy. I think we've completely demonstrated the need for someone to write a great book for massage therapists about retailing products, Lynda. So just in case you have some spare time on your hand, I think it would be quite successful. So thank you again so much, Lynda, for taking the time to be with us today and sharing all of your tremendous background and expertise and experience. Obviously, there's a lot of people interested in looking at retail, and you covered every single thing that I could think of and that obviously a lot of other people could think of asking you from A to Z.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.